Well, things seem to be coming to a head.
Control on the comm.
Calling.
I guess he's busy with...
Hey, Rania. What a mess.
Everything okay, Control?
Is the world on fire and she's fixing her hair? Oh shit! Oh, that scared me.
I just need you to know I'm sorry, okay?
Oh.
Should have done more.
What do you mean? Is everything okay?
Look, kid, I know everything that happened. Huxley, the little girl, Rio. I always knew.
Shit. Am I fired?
Fired? Goddamn, kid, you have no idea.
What's happening there, Control?
I might have to go away for a little while. I don't want to, but I have no choice. It's either I do this or...
But I thought we might keep working together. Damn it, I fucked up, right?
No, you didn't. Just make your final delivery for the night, okay? Everything's going to be okay. I'll make sure they don't stop you. Just make that delivery.
I will, Control.
A delivery to the clouds, huh? Top of the spire. I wish I could see that.
I wish you could see it too. Will I ever speak with you again?
Maybe one more time, kid, but the clock is ticking. I have something I need to do.
Good luck, Control.
Ben. Rania. My name is Ben.
Control? Ben, come in.
He is offline now. I think we are on our own again.
Oh. Things are sounding extremely final. You know what? Let's go visit some islands that got cards on them. This doesn't seem like a great map for that. There's one over there. Can I even make icons? I don't think I can. Let's go a few blocks this way. I'm gonna go collect 20... Well, I need 6. I'm gonna reach the next 20 milestone for punch cards and hope that's the end of Evelyn's storyline. Because I'm thinking things are about to get a little wrapped up. So I better wrap that up, and then I better go deliver my water. And we'll see where things go from there. So it sounds like Ben might have been covering for me all evening as I did things that he was maybe even proud of, but will now face consequences for. And I'm still wondering whether he's an AI or not. I feel like he even practically said he'd get like deleted or wiped or something. Thank you for being a punch card and not one of those stupid flyers that use the same icon for some reason. If only somebody sold punch cards. The Vinculum Ascender. Alright, so I don't generally know where I am that well anyway. So I guess I might as well go towards my objective and hope there's punch cards over there. And then we'll see when I get there how much that leads to me being closer or further away from home when I get the waypoint to go back home. Because yeah, I don't, despite being a drive-in game, I don't know where I am that well. I guess that is the thing, is like if you train people to follow waypoints, then that's kind of all they do. As opposed to the Morrowind or Pathologic setup, where it's like, nah, you're gonna learn how to commute. You're gonna genuinely learn what this place is shaped like and where to go and how to navigate it. Which admittedly would have probably been a struggle when this game's mostly a grid of these blue streets and a bunch of towers. You definitely could have made a game that was that style, but it would have had to be a pretty different game, and it'd have to be pretty like landmark oriented. Every region would have to have a pretty clearly different vibe, not just in like a, not just in the way that we're like, if you zoom out you can tell like this place is run down, or this place is other, like the different levels of affluence and people types or whatnot, but like you'd have to like be at a glance really obviously different. They'd probably have to give up on the entire way that they handle highways, because the blue stuff really blocks your field of view a lot. all the more reducing your ability to parse what the fuck's going on and where you be. This thing lurches up and down in ways that make me nervous. Let's land on the oiliest spot. Gotcha. I need to get 5 more punch cards. There are 2 kinds of finales on this channel. One's where I spend the entire first half of the episode painstakingly doing sort of busy work to prepare for the last few minutes, and then those are the ones that are 3 hours of consecutive, like, linear stuff just kind of happening at me, and I figure out where to end each episode, or sometimes both, back to back. Did you just say surgical firmware reset? I gotta hate these sentences. It's hard to think of sentences that I would hate more. I don't have a run button, do I? I have this button that clicks my entire inventory. Here's what the game looked like originally. It's kind of hard to imagine, isn't it? Like, this is fine. It's just that this is so good. Do I have to park in a separate parking lot to get over there? I think I do. Like, these 2 spots are so close together, but you need a flying vehicle in order to get from one to the other. It's like how the United States is hostile to pedestrians, but taken up to like 11. It's like, well, yeah, there's fucking holes in the world everywhere. Have fun. You better have a car. I'm fascinated by countries where it's common to walk everywhere, because, like, I've never even close to had that. The cars just kind of... No! It was a waste. Cars just kind of rule this country. But on top of that, city planning is just kind of a weird nightmare where we decide that everybody should live together in the living places where you live, and nothing else is there. There's like a little there's like one block that is like a there's always like the one block that has a gas station and a grocery store and a few places to eat. And then it's just surrounded by just sprawling houses. And then the rest of the city is just like a fucking like 10 to 20 minute drive away. And it's like, that's not, you're not getting there on foot. Unless you want to make a day of it. Like, that is not a thing. So I'm really interested when I see elements of like Japan and stuff like that through games, and I'm like, wait, you can walk places? What is this? Marrow is fascinating. Made all the more interesting that it's based on, like, what is it? Kabukicho or something? It's based on a real neighborhood that has the same red archway in the front. Not that it's not that it's exactly the first place you want to live. It's I think it's supposed to be a crime-heavy red light district or something, because you're like, yeah, it's the setting they chose for the Yakuza franchise. Granted, it's not called that in Japan. It's called Like a Dragon, which helps contextualize why it's so light on actual Yakuza content from game to game sometimes. It's like the franchise is not called that. That's the American name. Kind of like how Resident Evil makes more sense when you know that it's called Biohazard as opposed to Resident Evil. You know what? I'm not gonna keep going on detours for all these random items. I'm on a mission. Because the first game was a Resident in which there was evil. And admittedly, all of my favorite Resident Evils are the ones where there is an evil residence. I think that's a pretty good setup for a Resident Evil game. Resident Evil 1 and 7 in particular. I like the remake of 2 a lot too, but the 1 and 7 in particular, like that exact like idea of like, you're in a scary house, there's monsters here, try to solve the weird puzzle house these people had for some reason. Good luck, have fun. Res 8 was neat for a lot of reasons, but it just wasn't the thing I like about Resident Evil. Which is probably what I'll end up saying when I finally play Resident Evil 4. I'll be like, that was neat, but also I'm sad that how distinctly not Resident Evil it is, and how the following like decade of the franchise became bad versions of this, and which would mean it was just more of not being what Resident Evil is. But yeah, it is interesting when franchises have wildly divergent names from region to region. What is it? I don't have any examples at the top of my head, but there's like a lot of really interesting examples of like hole of Western country like movies that come out in Japan and China and get wildly divergent names as a result. And those super different names are like, not only are they unrecognizable as being the series by name, but in some cases they just completely like try again with each sequel. Like it'll be one franchise, but each sequel will like kind of try again with its branding and name it something else. If like maybe because the last one didn't do well enough, or they just don't bother naming them as like a franchise with like a number or even a consistent like name. They'll just call it something else entirely. I guess it's kind of like the series that young adult novels have, I guess, is that I want to say like Twilight and Maze Runner and Hunger Games. Each one of those ones, like or even The Witcher, yeah. Each one of those will have the entire franchise. Each one is called a different thing, and there isn't really overt branding the way that you do with movies and games, where they insist on putting the title of the franchise in first, and then you add a number or a subtitle afterwards. Oop, what's that? Something else. You'll notice that because they'll this is a long walkway too. You'll notice that because they'll then make it into a movie, and then the movie will be like the Twilight Saga or so on. Or yeah, like a Song of Ice and Fire. The entire series becomes Game of Thrones, whereas every individual book has its own unique title that isn't like Game of Thrones, A Dance with Dragons, or something like that. I just went to the wrong place. Womp. That was the item I skipped over because I wanted to land closer, but then looks like there's an egg on my face. That's not my car. Why would I think that's my car? My car is the cool one. The one that looks like a laser tag carpet. Oh shit, there's two over there. Should have gone there a while ago. We're going to Frisco. Ring. Am I going the right way? Yes. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Man, I want to go to San Francisco. I just hate driving it. Ow, fuck. I haven't been raised around using public transport and whatnot, and I'm not really familiar. Like, I guess I could take a BART train, right? Like, that's a thing, but like, I don't know. I always default to driving because that's just how I get around. And driving in San Francisco and parking in San Francisco, everything about San Francisco, when you have to navigate it yourself, it's stressful. It's hell. Like, I've had on a regular basis, I've been like, whatever, I found a place to park. You know what? Even if it takes me a half an hour, I'm just gonna figure out what to do from here on foot. Because I want out of this car. I can't take the experience of being in a car in this city anymore. That's a reoccurring thing that has happened to me in San Francisco, because I hate that place whenever I'm in a car. But I'm on an ongoing mission where whenever I see certain Japanese food in like Yakuza or B-Stars or something, I'll then be like, well, now I want to know what that's like. Or Monster Hunter. All of those, there's so much effort put into making food look interesting and good in a lot of Japanese media, and it makes me want to try it. And so I want to try okonomiyaki. It is not on menus of any, like, I have so many options for Japanese food in this town, and not a single one of them serves okonomiyaki. I had sukiyaki, or like when I did that black, that was a weird lurch. It goes up and down really dramatically sometimes, and I don't always know why. When I did the black garlic quest in Yakuza, I will always triple guess my pronunciation of that, and I'm just living with that now. Like I found on the fly that there a nice ramen shop chain that I order from now, just because I did a quest about black garlic ramen, and I'm like, I want to try that. And then there was a place in town that served black garlic ramen, and I'm like, well, I guess this took care of itself. I've been there a few times now, and it's a nice place, even if it is a chain. Ramen 101, I guess, is a place that's just kind of around. But that's pretty tasty, cheap, fast food that you just go in and get. You just sit down. And, what is it? I don't remember what got me interested in gyoza. It wasn't Dorohedoro, but I do just embrace the entire intro of Dorohedoro, and it's just flagrant celebration of gyoza for an entire anime intro. Just a deranged, beautiful, and just punch in the face of an anime intro. And, what was it? Beastars had, like, what was it? There's a lot of rice stuff that is that I find a bit underwhelming, because it's just like, it's just chewy rice stuff, basically. Like, I've already had mochi, and mochi's pretty tasty. I really like green tea or red bean mochi, and so that's a pretty strong starting point. So when I get to the other chewy, the other chewy rice things that are mochi-like, they're usually disappointing. Like, maybe there's a better one to find that I haven't found yet, but the dango that I've found so far, in response to the dango that was being constantly shown off in Monster Hunter Rise, has been disappointing so far. It's just really, really chewy and not that flavorful. So it doesn't have the layers that mochi has, and it's not as sweet or savory as mochi is, depending on what kind you get. And it's way chewier. It's like, it's all chewy. It's like dense. And, was it Beastars had this thing where they got like some kind of rice cakes or something? There we go. Got the waypoint. Let's visit both the people back home. It was, this is a whatever spoiler for season 3, I guess, if they even do this scene. But, there's a part where Legoshi gets a bunch of rice things, and then they all cook them on a roof, and it's like, they're like, yeah, like there's like, it's like this like block of like reworked rice stuff in that same sort of territory as mochi and dango and whatnot. I don't know what to call it anymore. It took me a bit to figure out what it was before, and now I've forgotten. But I tried to find any place that had it once I figured out the name of it. And eventually I had to order it online. And I tried authentically, like, or I don't know about authentic, but like, I guess it's an ongoing, like, New Year's celebration food. And, well, we're really close. That worked out really well. I tried, cooking it over a bonfire to try to recreate the experience a bit. And, those were difficult to cook. And then they puff up. Was it puffy rice? They puff up and bloat and whatnot, and then you're like, I did it? And then you really have to season it all yourself, because it pretty much is just another variation of chewy rice, so it's like, sort of like campfire food, I guess. An experiment, but one I would not repeat probably. Why are you at my house?
What you looking for? Whatever it is, I got it.
I got it! Oh yeah, you're Gaz, not Baz, right?
Thanks.
Hey, come back anytime, lady.
One of these days I'll try okonomiyaki. There's a few places in San Francisco. But then the plague happened that delayed my wishes.
I have more of the cards. maybe enough?
Everything is becoming clearer.
Is that good?
I feel incredible pain.
I'm sorry, Evelyn. What do you remember?
Dr. Zizic and I had an argument. She said I should forget what happened, put it behind me, and move on. I wanted to die.
Do you remember what it was that made you feel like you couldn't go on?
At the periphery, I met someone I cared very deeply for.
Did something happen to them?
Yes, they fell in love.
With who?
With me.
So what was the problem?
I cared for them deeply, but I could not love them.
You shouldn't feel guilty about that.
You do not understand. I could not love them, no matter how much I wanted to. I am not built to feel it.
I see. But if you cared for them, then that's...
It is not the same as loving them. What I felt was like being able to taste, but not swallow. Being able to see the sun, but not feel its warmth on my face. I was walking towards a deep, blue, infinite sea, but the tide was rolling out, and no matter how fast I ran, there was always sand beneath my feet. All I wanted to do was swim, but for me, there was only an endless shore.
I still don't get it.
Some androids can't love, and yet still they feel whole. Some can, and they can feel everything. For me, it is much worse. I can feel the hole inside me where love should be, and I can feel that it is not there.
Do you remember anything else about the periphery? About Dr. Zizic?
I remember little. I struggle to picture their face, but I remember that I was the one that posted the punch card under your door. The first one.
Why?
I asked Dr. Zizic to change my core programming, to forbid me from searching for the lost memories. I knew you traveled through the city. You might find them. You might help me recover my memories.
So you lied to me.
Do you understand why?
Do you?
No, but I want to.
Oh my god, ma'am. Uh-oh. Is this the end of the game or not? I'm concerned. Nope, a second bed.
We picked up fresh water. Grade 1. It might be better if you drink that for a while till you get used to things down here.
What flavor?
Water flavor.
Water flavor. A Dolly poster. Oh. There's a second bed. A food dispenser. 1 food capsule twice a day. Everything you need to not die with none of the joy of living. Oh.
Okay.
Just non-stop core broadcasts, but the waterfall screensaver is a nice touch. Oh.
Yes.
An old-fashioned, though fairly well-maintained set of chairs.
Oh, that's better.
Join me in my dream bop world. It's a poster for Dolly's new album.
That's alright.
Almost like home. I think that might be the I got every single thing achievement. Oh yeah, there's a second bed. That is a long-term commitment. And she gets the Dolly poster. What? What do you think that meant? Like, could this be a clue, I wonder? I don't usually have the patience to find those things, though. Hello, itty bitty fish. Itty bitty fishy. Alright, well, I'm gonna level with you guys. I can't sit here and podcast for 20 more punch cards, so we're gonna I'm just gonna hang out and listen to some YouTube videos or something and come back after I've scraped the planet clean, because I'm worried the game might be about to end and I would like to finish this. Hello. This is a good time for little moments like this too. I see you head on map.
Are you Kelson?
No, sorry.
Please do not be shy. We talked about this in the chat room. We cannot begin until you confirm your identity. We agreed on Kelson for you. I am Molly.
I'm not Kelson. My name is Rania.
Oh, I see. I am sorry too. Damn it, I cannot take any more of these time wasters. I hate to be made to wait. Even worse when it is in the rain.
At least your clothes are kind of waterproof. They're made of...
Latex, yes. And I suppose that is a small mercy. How do you survive this weather? You're soaked.
I'm a delivery driver, so I'm mostly in my Hava.
Yes, of course. You like your work?
I'm still deciding. You?
It is honest work. I make people happy.
Are you...
A sex worker? Yes, a dominatrix. My mother said one day I would find something I was good at. This is it.
Okay.
You have something else to say. Spit it out then. I have nothing else to do, it would seem. I know you are curious.
Does it feel bad hurting people? Even if they want it?
No, not at all. I am helping them.
You really believe that?
I know it. They thank me with words and with huge handfuls of money.
Has it ever gone wrong with a client?
No.
Seriously? You've never hurt someone more than they wanted?
It's all done with augments now. If I crack a whip, it's just for show. Ropes and chains are ornamentals. The augments bind them, hold them down, cause them pain. That way, no one is ever hurt worse than they want to be.
I guess that's better.
It is.
Well, Molly, I hope you get another client soon, and get out of the rain.
I shall. Business is good. Run along and get yourself dried off. We all wear a uniform to work, whether we think we do or not. No need for it to be waterlogged.
Have a safe word. Achievement unlocked. Extreme cyberpunk BDSM. That's interesting. There's a whole thing in BDSM where, despite the implications it has from the outside, it's really important how consent works in that community. And they have way more protocol and steps and so on to ensure that everyone's actually safe than you. It's way more of a prominent conversation than you'd even be used to outside of that context, despite the implication of the whole thing seeming to imply the opposite. That's kind of the whole deal. Why, hello, who is over here, Sabra?
You sell instruments?
I sell everything. Sheet music, drumsticks, reeds, strings, performance-enhancing stims, guitar picks.
You seen one of these before?
That's an ocarina right there. Dirty, but not in bad condition. Where did you find it?
Does it matter? I'd like to sell it.
Sure, I could take this off your hands. You knew what it was already, didn't you?
Yeah.
You're from the East, right? You folks play some pretty intricate folk music, with all the crazy time signatures.
I don't anymore.
That's a shame. I'd love to hear some of that mountain music. You don't get much of that here in Nivalis.
I didn't think anyone in the city would be interested in that.
Well, it's not mainstream, sure, but there's a lot of people looking for something different. The Neds don't support music except for what the corps approve, so we don't hear much variety, you know? So why don't you play anymore?
I don't really want to talk about it.
Well, that's fine, but if you ever get back to playing again, you know where to come to get a good music stand. Tell a friend about old Sabra's music ephemera, and if you find anything else like this, bring it here for a good price.
I'm thinking about The Maiden Wouldn't Sing from Ghost of a Tale. I like it when the protagonist is some kind of bard or musician, and there's some kind of narrative behind whether they are or aren't playing music right now. Ghost of a Tale was a lot. You were a bard that was imprisoned as a political prisoner because your wife refused to sing a racist song against your own people from the people that essentially conquered them, from what I can remember. That was a whole thing, and every single time you unlock a new song over the course of that thing, it's more world building and story development, and there's choices about what song to play to what people, and that have maybe not entirely consequences, but reactions, and you can really regret your choices.
Hey, you wanted to hear more music from the East? I found this.
Not exactly authentic. This is from the big CD revival fad that kicked off about 200 years ago. There's no original CDs left now.
But the music is what you were looking for, right?
Yeah, this is a good find.
So you like this job?
Selling junk? No, but on good days, I get to talk to some pretty interesting people about music. And don't get me wrong, it's not all junk. This CD, for example, is a real find, and I have good reeds if you need one.
Flutes don't need reeds.
A flautist? I should have guessed. You got to play for me sometime. There's a jazz club. Not exactly your style, I know, but...
No thanks.
All right, I get it. Maybe when you're ready. Anyway, let me give you a good price for this CD. I'm closing the stall early tonight. Gonna grab a coffee from that expensive place downtown and listen to this CD. That is, if I can find something that will play the damn thing.
$200 for a CD. Granted, it's the future, so like money's inflated as fuck by now, but like, wow. He talked about authenticity though. I'm like, I mean, I guess it's not an original, but the idea of CDs being a thing that there was like authentic versions of versus like reproductions feels silly to me, because CDs, I don't know. I've always, even when they were the peak thing, I've always seen CDs as cheap disposable media. It is just a device that carries whatever's on it and not like a format that has inherent value. There's 3 cards over there. It's like if they quote unquote like recreated CDs or whatever 100 years from now, I wouldn't think of them as being different from the original CDs in any real way. I guess though, once things are old, then there's like that's what it is. It's Pokemon cards. It's when people talk about authenticity of like a thing that is inherently like a super reproducible thing, and it's like, it's just a Charizard, bro. Does it have the numbers on it and the text? It's like, no, yeah, but it's like it's a second edition, and when there's like a misprint in the corner, and it's like that's what makes it like an authentic collector's item from that guy's perspective. But I'm just like, is it a Charizard or not? That's all that matters.